My name is Mindahi Bastida from the Otomi Toltec peoples. We are here today honoring the Otomi Toltec from the Central Mexico and the Aztec Olmec peoples.
Soy Aurelio Ramírez de la comunidad de Amatlan de Quetzalcóatl, en donde tenemos todos los lugares sagrados, como uno de ellos que estamos aquí visitando y al mismo tiempo llenándonos de esa energía que estas dos piedras que nos están dando esa vida, esa alegría y esa salud. Por eso aquí estamos agradeciendo y haciendo esta ceremonia.
So, his name is Aurelio, spiritual guide from Amatlan of Quetzalcóatl, Morelos, Mexico. We are here in this sacred site, the two rocks touching, that give us joy, give us happiness, give us life. So we are here to greet you. So now we are going to touch and honoring the mind, the spirit, and the body. And at this time, we want to acknowledge as well the Taino peoples that have been struggling to recover dignity and self-determination, and also the Maasai peoples of Africa that also are struggling to recover peace and dignity and also self-determination. We are going to blow the conch, so the purpose earth is lit and is blessed. ¿Hacia dónde? Primero, sí, aquí. To the east. Na, yoho, hiu. Now to the west. Na, yoho, hiu. Now to the south. Na, yoho, you. Now to the north. Na, yoho, you. Na, yoho, you, to the Father Sky. Now to Mother Earth. Na, yoho, hiu. Thank you, Mother Earth.
Thank you, thank you. Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And may this gathering be blessed with all the peoples around the world. We ask for unification. We ask for reciprocity with Mother Earth. We ask for peace in the world with dignity. Because we are remembering who we are as human beings. Remembering that we are here just for a while, not forever. So we remember our ancestors and also the future generations to come. May peace and dignity prevail in the world, in Mother Earth, in the celestial bodies. So be it. Kamadi. Thank you. Tlazo kamati.
Tlazo kamati.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome. What a beautiful blessing this was. Thank you to Mindahi, Bastidas, and Aurelio for this wish for peace for all of us and for everybody around the world who are joining us. I've been looking at all of your messages. It's so beautiful. The energy here feels so, so incredibly touching. Something that they say is about remembering who we are as human beings. What a beautiful message. If you haven't yet, share in the chat where you are, where you're joining us from, and maybe you can share who the stewards of, like the first stewards of the land are for you. For me, I'm in the Dominican Republic, and for me is the Taínos, los Taínos. But we're so excited to get started. We are here to celebrate change makers all around the world. We're here to celebrate our 2022 grant recipients for Purpose Earth, that you're going to learn more about all of this. If you're someone maybe invited you here, so you're going to learn more about what this is, or maybe your family. And if you're here, there's a reason why you're here, your family already. My name is Laura Peña, and I am the founder of She is the Universe, a global movement for girls' empowerment. And I'm also a recipient, a 2021 recipient for a grant for Purpose Earth. I am here to just be with you, with all of you, and to share all of these beautiful projects with you. And so we also have here Dr. Marty K. Casey. Hello, Dr. Marty.
Hello, how are you? Oh my gosh, you look so radiant in your hot pink. I just love it. It's such an honor to be here with you today, celebrating. This is the celebration of change makers. And wow, such powerful words, because change makers, they truly are. But of course, you know something about this because you are also a change maker. And we were so excited with Purpose Earth to find you last year, and when you were a recipient, and all of the wonderful work that you are doing, along with those who we are highlighting and celebrating today. I'm so excited and can't wait to get into the program. But I first would like to send a special hug, if you will, out to our co-creators, Emmanuel and Laura Rose. Yes, Purpose Earth. If you want to know how Purpose Earth started, how it began with these two wonderful humans and souls that they understand the power of giving back. They understand that power. And I'm so excited that I am one of the council members with Purpose Earth Grant Selection Council member, to be exact, along with 4 other amazing individuals that you will meet a little bit later. And then, of course, we want to say hello to the production team, because this could not be possible if it was not for the production team doing all of the wonderful long hours and hard work behind the scenes. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and get started, but I am Dr. Marty with Ungun Institute, where we help individuals disarm trauma my motto is hurt people, healed people, heal people. So I'm in business, and we're in business to help individuals heal along with these other powerful change makers. I can't wait to get started. Lotta, you want to go ahead and get us on in there right away?
Yes, actually, before we get started, because we, the world, we're here to celebrate, but there's so many things happening around the world, so many people suffering. So we want to acknowledge that as well. And we would love to take a minute to just like breathe all of us together. So I will invite you, if you're able, to put your one hand in your heart, maybe one hand in your belly, and just like take a deep breath with us. And we're gonna inhale through our nose. And then exhale, maybe make a sound. And send love and peace to all of those who might not have it right now. And just for them to know that we love them. So something that we do with the girls, we work with, my friend Sara Surani taught me this. You put your hands right exactly where you have them, and then say amor, 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 and send it like this. And then you're sending amor, amor, amor to everybody. So with me, if you want to do amor, amor, amor to everybody.
Oh my goodness, I love that. Sending love in Spanish. I love it. I love that so much. Oh my goodness. I don't know about you all, but you have landed in the right place today. You're going to be so amazed, so excited, so changed, so inspired after meeting and seeing these wonderful videos and hearing these interviews that have been prepared just for today. So you're in a very special place. However, I want to say this. If by any chance you can't stay for the whole program, make sure that you come back later and you review this at a later time and share this with everyone. You are getting an opportunity right now to go around the world with us. We're about to take a trip. And so I'm turning it back over to my lovely co-host.
Thank you, Dr. Marty. There's so many beautiful things. I can't wait for you to see all of this. But before, I want to tell you a little bit about my experience as a grant recipient for 2021. Just being part of this, just so you kind of understand what this, like, we're going to show you the 5 recipients for this year. And I want you to understand that, yes, this is a financial support, beautiful, but also the mentorship component to this grant is amazing. The things that I've been able to do, and the team that I've been able to grow, and the things that, we are now 40 plus girls from 40 plus countries around the world in our empowerment community. And this couldn't have happened without, the support of this beautiful family. And this mentorship program supported me and my organization into becoming a 501c3 nonprofit, which is amazing. And to do so many programs right now we're doing a leadership program here in the Dominican Republic. So yeah, I just want to share that with you. And Dr. Marty, tell us about this map.
Oh, I'm so excited about this map. And let me tell you why. With the Grants Council, we sit around and we talk about many different things in our meetings, and we try to think of different ways of what we can create and how we can add different resources. Well, Kevin is also a council member. And Kevin said, I think it would be awesome and amazing if we were able to take everyone who we are supporting and place them on the map together, where everyone can see exactly where they are in the world and who we're supporting. And this has just been amazing, because from that framework, we were able to pass that thought on to the production team, and voila, look at here. Isn't this beautiful? Do you see your lovely face on there? I do.
I mean, so many people that I know.
I know that. I mean, our past recipients, this year's recipients, this is so wonderful and amazing. So again, when you share this out with your friends and family, make sure that they go ahead and take a look at this map so they can see exactly, oh, I didn't know someone is in London. Oh, I didn't know someone is in the United States, in Chicago, or, Brazil, and all these different wonderful places, Kenya. And so here we are. I'm just overjoyed today. I'm so overjoyed.
So
And
beautiful.
thank you, Kevin.
Oh, thank you, Kevin, so much. This map is beautiful, and seeing all the projects. And we're ready to show you more about the recipients from this year. And, you know, when sometimes people ask me, like, how do you find your purpose? How do you know what your purpose is? And something that I always say is, sometimes a yes is what lights you up, but sometimes it's what breaks your heart. What is it that breaks your heart? And then there could be your answer right there. So one person that I know personally who followed this is our next recipient. It's our first one of them. And her project, she took something that really breaks her heart and she made something with it. She saw kids that were not being educated, that were just on the streets when the pandemic started in her community, and she started teaching them in their backyard of her house. And so then now she's taking this to the next level, and her project is called Teaching for the Future, Educando para el Futuro, and her name is Nicauris. And Nicauris is a Montessori teacher, and let's watch a video about Nicauri.
Es Nikauri Vázquez Fumen. Este proyecto significa amor, paz, alegría. Un proyecto que me inspiró al ver los niños de mi comunidad sin tener la oportunidad de ir a la escuela o sin tener la oportunidad de tener padres preparados que le puedan enseñar. Yo tengo una hermana que tiene 19 años, ya tiene 3 niños pequeños. Ninguno asistían a la escuela, a un centro público, pero queda muy lejos de aquí. A la familia que tiene niños pequeños, no poder tener la suficiente economía para pagar un pasaje. Entonces ellos, cuando se iban a trabajar, siempre lo dejaban con un hermano o la vecina o una tía, pero muchas veces esos niños quedaban al cuidado de otros niños. En cuarentena yo trabajaba en un colegio llamado Tres Mariposas Montessori. Cada vez que yo venía y veía a esos niños no estaban haciendo nada productivo que le ayudara en un futuro, da bastante tristeza. Yo le propuse a los padres que iba a hacer una pequeña escuelita donde ellos pudieran asistir cuando yo llegara de trabajar. Los padres se sentían emocionados y cuando se lo contaron a los niños también, ellos decían sí, sí. Yo me sentía súper preocupada porque no tenía ni el espacio ni la suficiente economía. Yo no tenía nada, pero yo buscaba materiales. Donde yo trabajaba me traía muchas cosas. Con Dios adelante, con la ayuda de varias personas, pude salir adelante. Me sentía tan feliz cada vez que yo veía a esos niños viniendo. Aún estaba lloviendo. Esa hambre, como quien dice, de aprender. Sembremos la educación, la seguridad, la inspiración en cada niño para en un mañana cosecharlo.
Wow.
Listening to Nicauri, it's always like almost brings me to tears or makes me cry. So I'm trying not to cry right now.
When she stated that the children had a hunger to learn, that just grabbed my heart.
Yeah.
Because what I love is that she was able to create something from a need. She was already working in a school in her community, but she decided to come away from working in another school to create a school right there in the center of her own community for the children who didn't have one during the pandemic because they had a hunger to learn. And that right there, that is just beyond words. That's amazing on so many levels. But what I really loved is how everyone in the community, after she said, I will, and she did that amazing act of faith, they jumped in to help. And that's how we make the changes that need to be. I tell people all the time, you know, we don't change the world, we change ourselves. So when she changed her position to say, I'm going to move out of this school to start a school over here for these babies, that's how you change the world.
That's it. That's it. And something, she's here right now. She doesn't speak English. I'm going to say Nicauris. Bravo, bravo. That's something that can be probably understood in every language.
Yes.
We're so proud of you. Something that just so you know, how one time Mikari was talking about how when you educate, like people ask her, like, why do you wasting your time educating like these 10 kids? And she'll be like, yes, but each one of those kids is going to educate 10 other kids, and they're going to educate 10 other kids. So that's it. Sometimes we start with one.
It's one. And let that one be yourself. Start with you. Start with you. And then pass it on.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm so excited.
Okay, all right. I know, right? Because we're just beginning. Who's next? I'm just so excited.
Yeah, so now we have a beautiful conversation with Dr. Marty and Audrey. And I will pass it on to you, Dr. Marty. I can't wait for this.
Well, thank you. So speaking of change makers and knowing how to start with self, even giving back, and also being an educator, I welcome to the stage right now, Miss Audrey Jackson.
Morning. Good afternoon, actually.
Hello, my friend. How are you, Audrey?
I'm well, Dr. Marty. How are you? Good to see you.
It's so awesome to see you always. I want to go ahead and jump right into our conversation, if you will. And today we're going to be speaking about the your organization that you have created, which is, I would say, where you picked up the torch from where your son left off, from where Pop Smoke, hip hop artists, destined to do great things as he will continue to do through his legacy. Pop Smoke was an American rapper, singer, and songwriter, and he was considered by many to be the face of Brooklyn drill. Born and raised in Canarsie, Brooklyn, Pop Smoke began his musical career in the late 2018, and before the unfortunate act of him being gunned down in Los Angeles, California in 2020. He started the work. He started the work. He started with himself. Tell us a little bit about Pop Smoke and how you've come to create the organization. Tell the vision.
People ask me, what's one thing that we don't know about Pop, and I usually talk about his faith. I remember the other day that he always wanted to give back, even though, in elementary school, he toyed with being a teacher because he wanted to be able to sow into young people the way his teacher sowed into him. So when he got into this particular position, he wanted to start out with maybe giving technology into the classrooms. And so he created the concept of Shoot for the Stars. And that was, and then he was like, Ma, you handle it, right? And then, the unfortunate happened. And now, so we've been picking up the torch and taking up the torch, and are running forward with it. Within the industry, the young men are always our young men are always trying to find a way out of the hood, right? It's basketball, it's being a rap artist. And unfortunately in this season, it's taken kind of a wrong turn where language, because they're not quite sure how to express what they're feeling, they're using language which is causing what I'm calling revenge killings. So what I thought to do, after having spoken to a few people, and one particular young lady had access to a detention center for boys, and she was just so impressed with how gifted they were, even in the situation that they were in, this fine art, just gifted young men. So we thought about just kind of giving them an opportunity while they're waiting and doing their thing, to develop language, right? If you want to be a hip hop star, you want to rap, you need vocabulary. You need to be able to express yourself. So this program is going to give them an opportunity to figure out how to say what they're feeling creatively, so that when they express themselves, no one is feeling threatened or the need to go and harm somebody because they felt disrespected. Right? So this program will also end up being their first step towards building their portfolio when they come out. That will help them to be able to come out effectively.
I love that. That's so amazing. And I love how you're bridging the arts as well as the healing, as well as just that whole creativity, just fusing all of that together. And I say all the times that sometimes when we lack the words, that's when we load up the bullets. But I also say that there's two things that you can never take back once it's released, and that is bullets and words. Words are powerful. So my question to you, Audrey, would be, how are you planning to frame helping them to understand that power in the tongue? What does that mean to you in your organization?
One of the things that we all as individuals need to do is to be able to tap into ourselves, right? Our ability to kind of know and understand what we're feeling so we can express what it is what we're feeling to someone else. And that comes from a part of the process that we're going to use is circles, healing circles, where they get an opportunity to express themselves. And then, hopefully learning and teaching moments will grow in those moments. And then we can take some of that stuff and bring it back to their class, their writing sessions, to see how well, and what you said during our last healing session, how could you express that in song, right? In a song, in the rhythm that you want to, because I know for our young people, it's about having the right beat, right? And one of the things about drill or all music that I'm looking at, that the music in the communities of African ancestry, whether it be reggae or drill, there's a heavy drum beat, right? And so it's the drum beat, I think, that really kind of inspires them to need to tell their story in a particular way. But drums are also healing.
Yes, it catches in the body first.
Right.
I love it. It catches in the body first. This is awesome. Well, Audrey, we could use this whole time to talk to you. Of course, there's just not enough time to really get deep dive into it, but we are going to definitely be bringing you back to find out more. But congratulations on being a 2022 recipient. We look so, and personally, you already know I'm there, and I'm going to be the mentor, and I'm going to just do whatever is necessary to make sure that this goes across the globe and then somewhere.
I'm excited, really. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to work with this organization. I'm looking forward to it.
It's our pleasure. That's what Purpose Earth is all about. And we thank you for really working on the healing piece to this gun violence, this senseless gun violence that is really destroying a lot of our communities and our culture. We really honor you for that. Thank you. Wow. I'm telling you, if you're not inspired already by our two recipients that we've had an opportunity to meet, you just might be in the wrong place today, but I know you're not. So I need you to stay tuned, stay on, share this, tell somebody to jump on right now, because this is just the beginning. We have so much more in store for you.
So much more, but I want to say how beautiful, like the combination of this art, creativity, and healing. So beautiful conversation. And I want to say, Audrey, welcome to the family. So beautiful. Okay, so next we have something super inspiring for all of you. We, something that we're all about here, Purpose Earth, is talking about the seeds of change and growth through the grass level, right? Like from here, and the nurturing that happens, that allows us to change the world, like that nurturing that we need inside of us, so we can serve, so we can create that change. And for that, we have a beautiful video from Kaeshi Chai, and she's the co-founder of Belly Queen and Pure, a global community focused on healing and social change through dance and music. She's performed in 38 countries. So let's take a look. Let's see this beautiful video.
Welcome. My name is Kaeshi Chai. I'm a bi-coastal artist based in New York City and the Bay Area. Today, I invite you to join me on a very short tree meditation. Take a moment to breathe deep into your belly. And as you exhale, send your breath down through your feet. As you inhale, your crown reaches up toward the sky. And as you exhale, send the breath through your feet, growing roots out into the soil. Inhale, your spine lengthens. And exhale, your shoulders release. Deep breath in, feel your lungs expand. And as you exhale, feel them contract. Inhale, breathing into your front body. Exhale, softening. Inhale, breathe into your back body. Exhale, allowing. Hands slowly lift up. Imagine that there's a tiny seed in each palm. From this tiny seed sprouts a little seedling. Its roots are now wrapping around your palms, and it's growing up, reaching toward the sun. As the roots wrap around your body, start to feel yourself become the seedling. Your arms are now reaching up toward the sun. Your branches become part of the canopy, and you can feel different animals living on your body. The tickle of the caterpillar, the scurrying of the squirrels, letting your body feel this motion, moving with the wind. Your feet continue to grow roots deep down into the soil, drawing nourishment up from your feet, up through your trunk, out through your branches, enjoying the nourishment coming down from the sun, breathing through every single pore. Exhale out, breathing into your back body. Exhale, release and let go. Breathing into your front body. Exhale out. Sensing the green embrace of the other trees around you. Feeling your fingers of your branches touching your fellow trees on either side. Your roots entwining with other trees out from underneath you. Breathing in collectively, breathing out. As we exhale, we send out love, we send out gratitude. We send out thoughts of peace and harmony. Inhale in, bring your palms together, and exhale to your heart. Thank you.
Oh, I needed that.
Oh, me too. I feel
I
like
needed that so much. I know I had to go off screen because I was doing things that I was like, I need to breathe and become a tree and just
oh,
take it all in.
oh, I feel like my roots growing and intertwining with yours from across the globe and everybody else here. I don't know if you feel it. Let us know if you also can feel it. But my favorite thing was this part right here.
Yes. Being deeply rooted. That's what I feel like, a tree, like we're so deeply rooted together, just being able to do this work.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, Kaeshi, for that. I know that she's around, so welcome and thank you so much for this beautiful film. Also to Lisa Merton, who made this film. So thank you so much. Yes. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. The next one is by Lisa Merton.
Well, before we go there, I just want to share this because I think it's so important for everyone to really understand how Purpose Earth is so connected and bringing everyone together. Purpose Earth is an initiative of Unity Earth, whose activities empower worldwide solutions for unity, purpose, and peace. Purpose Earth mission is to fund and mentor purpose-driven people and projects with creative solutions to our global challenges. And I thought it was so important to share that right there after that meditation, because we do understand there are a lot of global challenges. And if we just take the time out sometimes to breathe together and connect and create together, that's how we will continue to change the world as we are celebrating Changemakers on today.
Absolutely. Oh, so beautiful. So grateful for this organization and all the people that I've met, like you. And like my friend Priya, who I see, it's also over there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so next we have, I'll leave this up to you, Dr. Marty, is we have a beautiful trailer now from someone who's planting or helped plant a lot of trees around the world.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of a lot of trees, how about 35 million? 35 million trees have been planted, and we are in partnership. Purpose Earth is actually in partnership with the Green Belt movement. And I don't want to say too much about it because it's explained in this video, but we'll talk about it as soon as it's over. Here we go.
I was hearing many rural women complain about the fact that they did not have firewood. They were also complaining that they did not have enough water. Why not plant trees? I asked the women. And so they just started very, very, very small, very, very small. And before too long, they started showing each other. It was now communities empowering each other to plant trees for their own needs. When the women started, nobody was bothering them because nobody took them seriously. You know, who takes women seriously? Then the government realized that we were organizing women. So they started interfering with our organizing. Ogo metera turahanda ni miti itu na ni miti ya guthondeka bururi witu na ni miti ria tugatigira ciana citu o uria na ithu twatigirwo ni maithe maitu githitiguo koguo ni tutige kuhagagio ni andu. Na mama moja anajitokeza na kwa desturi mama kwa Kiafrika lazima kuheshimu wanaume. They want to debase your womanhood. So I said, now don't give me that. Just use the anatomy that matters right now. And that is from the neck up.
She was disobedient at a time when disobedience was not tolerated.
A lot of our people were imprisoned. A lot of our people were killed.
In our fight for a better government.
If you're going to shed blood because of our land, we will.
Niahete hinya na umiriru muingi muno ngikondo jikaga ndina jitikiti ati maundu ni meri gukua kana kuhotana.
It is the people who must save the environment. It's the people who must make their leaders change. So we must stand up for what we believe in.
Jambo sana, Kevin. I am looking forward to a conversation about the professor, Wangari Maathai. And I wanted to ask you, you were coming of age as a young man in Kenya when she was becoming so well known as a human rights activist and as a woman rights activist, as she called it, and an environmental activist. I'm wondering if you could share a bit about how you were inspired by the work of the professor.
Jambo sana, Peter. Thank you for that question. You know, growing up in the 90s, I would always hear Wangari Maathai on TV, and especially during this time, it was for human rights, as a human rights activist. And it was inspiring during that time because not many people, you know, would stand up against human rights and violations, and more so not many women. So it was inspiring for that time that, you know, the professor was able to stand up for rights and look into the government eyes to ask, hey, we need to do better for the people. But for me, what was more inspiring was in the late 2000s when she got involved really in environmental activism and started planting trees and projects to empower communities. That inspired me when I got to know my undergraduate or my university to be able to follow into the footsteps and work with the student organizations, and furthermore work with the student organizations across the world in able to be able to continue the legacy and of planting trees and for environmental activation. Thank you. And so Peter, just as a follow-up, right? As a professor, you took 2 years off and worked at the Wangari Maathai Institute for Peace and Environmental Studies in Kenya, which honors the work of the late professor. The Institute works closely with the Green Belt movement to continue her legacy. How was it for you during this time?
Well, after Wangari passed, I was, like millions of others, inspired to do something to contribute to her legacy. And I had the privilege of helping her to develop this Wangari Maathai Institute for Peace and Environmental Studies. And so I was privileged to go there and be a Fulbright professor at University of Nairobi in the Institute. And during that time, I worked closely with the Greenbelt movement also. And I came to see her work in Kenya and across Africa. And I've reflected a lot, Kevin, over the years on what her contributions were. And I think there are three things I would say. One is that she was deeply moved by ethics. She was one of the authors of the Earth Charter. Major intellectual architecture of the Earth Charter really came from Wangari. And she was deeply moved by the need to act upon our ethics. Secondly, she had a deep belief in personal efficacy and persistence. She never gave up. And she believed that all actions that we take are significant. And finally, and perhaps most inspiring for the women of the Greenbelt movement and for young men like you growing up and for old professors like me, is that she was fierce in her commitment to nonviolent resistance. She shed blood for the Karura forest, which has now been renamed in her honor. So these are some of the things that I learned from my time of hoping to carry on her work. And Kevin, I wanted to ask you, now we're involved on this Grant Selection Council of Purpose Earth. I'm wondering how you see the relationship. We're starting a partnership with Greenbelt Movement, of course. How do you see the relationship between the legacy of the professor and her inspiration and Purpose Earth?
Thank you, Peter, for that. I was feeling like, you're bringing me back into the moments when Wangari was alive. And just to answer your question here is Purpose Earth, we can easily draw, parallels between Purpose Earth and the Green Belt movement, which honors our work up to today. And Purpose Earth as a history, some of you could check out on our website, has 3 pillars, the environmental restoration, community activation, and cultural collaborations. And all these are some of the things, like Peter mentioned before, that the late professor really, advocated for. And this is shown with our projects across the world. Purpose Earth is funding projects, from like the Empowerment Collective in Nepal. We have the Light on Light for Peace, in the United States. We have conservation, a project on, conservation in Kenya. We have She is the Universe in Dominican. And if you look at all these projects, they tie into the 3 pillars and easily work together with, what the Green Belt movement is doing and what the professor wanted left as a legacy. And so it's nice to have, Purpose Earth, for example, try to work together with the Green Belt movement in a partnership sort of form going forward. And so, Peter, maybe as to try and wind up here, you were honored to speak at the funeral ceremony of Wangari Maathai. Could you reflect on the important parts of that moment? Thank you.
Kevin, yes. You remember the grief that the nation felt when Wangari passed. I arrived in Kenya just in time for the state funeral, and there were hundreds of thousands of people in the streets. That tiny little hearse going through the streets. Wangari had a coffin made of invasive plants from Lake Victoria. She wanted no trees to be cut for her coffin, and it was an incredibly moving time. And it was only the 2nd state funeral in the history of Kenya. Only Kenyatta had a state funeral before that. And it was a remarkable time. And there was a national period of mourning. And then there was the family funeral. And that was also huge. And Desmond Tutu gave the homily. It was in that great basilica, that Roman Catholic basilica, thousands of people in the basilica. And I had been humbled, and one of the greatest honors of my life, of course, to give a prayer. There were prayers in many languages, Kikuyu, Swahili. I was to give the English prayer, and the prayer was to honor the Green Belt movement and for world peace. And no one will ever remember what I said because of what happened while I was saying the prayer. The bishop was very strict, and he said not to look at the audience, which was good because they were heads of state, and I would have gotten very nervous. So he said, look at the altar, but across on the far side of the altar, there were 500 women of the Greenbelt movement who had walked from all corners of Kenya. And they were there, of course, to help us celebrate the life of Wangari Maathai. And so it turned out, I hadn't expected, but it turned out I was addressing the women of the Greenbelt movement. And as I began my little prayer, a tree came up from the women. One of the women had a little seedling. We were planning to plant trees after the ceremony, and I continued to say my prayer. And as I did, a forest of trees came up. Each woman had a tree to plant. And so, as Wangari would call it, a canopy of hope was lifted up during the prayer. And it reminded us all of her great work in tree planting. And I look forward, Kevin, to this partnership partly because the work of the Greenbelt movement, it empowers people. Like those women, they're mostly poor, mostly women, and it empowers them to take action. And this is what I think will be our inspiration in Purpose Earth, is this need to take action based on what we believe.
Amazing, amazing, Peter. I think that's, like you call it, we'll wind up here and say a canopy of hope is what also Purpose Earth is looking forward. And, why don't we head over back to the main session and listen to what's going on? Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
A canopy of hope. Wow.
Yes. Oh my goodness. You just met my other brothers. That's oh my goodness. Again, you just heard from our council members, our grant selection council members. We're so excited to be a family and to come together and get an opportunity to read the grants and get to know the projects first, and along with our production team, and becoming mentors as well, individuals from the production team as well as the grants council members. We are also mentors, and so this is just it allows us to be a part of these projects that we're so excited about. But I have to just mention, a tree will be planted in the honor of each of you moving forward. A tree will be planted in the honor of the work that you're doing around the world, along with the other 28 grant recipients. And we're excited because Purpose Earth, we have already raised over $250,000, and 100% of the money that has been raised goes back to the recipients and the projects that you're doing, 100%. And we are already in 15 countries from around the world. Is that amazing or what?
That is beautiful.
And one of the things that Peter said that I was hanging on to, he says to be empowered and to take action. And for those who are watching right now and who will share this later, we encourage you to do that exact same thing. Be empowered today and take action. It takes money for us to do this, but we don't keep the money. We give the money away, and we give the money to great projects like the ones you have already met and you've heard. And so if you are inspired today to be empowered, to take action, we want you to also send this information out to others and ask them to join you. Wouldn't that be amazing if you created little small groups in your community to say, hey, let's support Purpose Earth, and let's specifically support this project that I heard about today, or maybe go to our website, purposeearth.org, and choose maybe a recipient even from last year. But what is inspiring you to be empowered and to give back? It's so exciting. I'm telling you, I love what we do. I love being a council member. My schedule had gotten so overwhelming this year. I had to remove myself from a lot of different groups and organizations. But this one here, I wasn't touching. I said, I might shut down some stuff that I personally created before I come off of this council, because they are just that powerful. And I'm excited to be a part of it. And we thank you again for being a recipient, and to all who will have a tree planted in your honor.
So beautiful. And in the words of Wangari Maathai that I love, is we must stand up for what we believe in all the ways, right? So inspiring. I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan.
Yes.
Yeah. And okay, so you ready for what's next?
Yeah, I am.
Perfect. So we have a video from Kevin, who visited a few of our grant recipients in Kenya. So we're gonna take a look at that.
Thank you, Dr. Marty and Emmanuel, for the opportunity. So today, my name is Kevin Chiteri. I come from Kenya, and I'm part of the Grant Selection Council here at Purpose Earth. And today, I'm going to talk to you about a visit that I did to some of the projects that have been funded and will be funded by Purpose Earth shortly here. So the first project that I got a chance to visit when I was visiting my family in Kenya in December was the conservation organization which runs the project called the Chagua Seed Bank as one of the prime projects. And the initiative of Chagua Seed Bank is to be able to provide the local farmers, mostly women, with the access to locally sourced vegetable seeds. And so what they're doing is they're using, organic local vegetables and working with the farmers to increase seed production. It was a really nice time to see and talk to the farmers themselves, because they say it's very hard for them to find the seeds for some of these local vegetables, which they really value a lot. And as you can see, we were able to go out. They have places where they are taught together, but they also practice this in their individual homesteads. And so we look forward to some of the seeds that are going to be coming out of their project. The second project was the Picedos project, which is a cage fish farming. I was able to meet the beach management unit of this project. And this project is at Lake Victoria, which is in East Africa, but this specifically part in Kenya. And the way fishing is done is that we have fishermen who go out and fish, mostly are men. They bring it to the beach where we have the fishmongers, mostly women, who sell to the other traders. But with the fish and with the fish cage, the cage fish farming, we are hoping that, that we can now put a cage inside the lake, and we're able to harvest the fish at the end of 6 months. And now this, we are hoping that the fishmongers will have access to more seeds, which they can sell and more money for them and their families. And so in this project, our meeting just these people and talking to them, I would see the real impact of them having this project with them for survival and for empowerment for the young people who are along the shores of this lake. The other newer projects that I did visit, the first one is the Maasai Ngosuani Greening, which has just recently been funded. And we are looking forward to John doing a great job by the fact that the town is a new growth town with no waste management systems. And John is going to try and work with the local elders, with the local community, the local business, to develop a waste management system with the grant that we are giving him. He's going to try and empower them with teaching them on what waste is and collection points and recycling points. And this is a very fast-growing town because it goes to the famous, world famous Maasai Mara National Reserve, where you have the migration that happens every year. The other project that I visited was the Wambulishe Water Project, and this is a project that had infrastructure, but they did not get all the wells down. And so we are hoping that with this now they are able to get in and get water to the community permanently year round. And with this, they're able to supply over the 3,000 people in the community. They're able to supply the schools, churches, and even mosques within that town. So with this grant, they're able to dig the well. They're able to supply the water. And Patrick was really grateful to Purpose Earth because he says there is going to be a real impact with this grant to his community. So it is really nice. And meeting even just some of the people, this water is going to be helpful to the old women, to the old persons, individuals, age, to the disabled, because they have to go for long ways looking for the water. So lastly, I just want to thank you all for the donation that you make to Purpose Earth. It's creating impact, it's saving life, it's empowering people out there. So I look forward to more discussions, and thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Patrick Oyale-Kuchwa, the chair of Wambulishe Community Water Project. The project was initiated by the community in the year 2015, and it became fully operational in 2016. The water project serves 500 households, which translates to over 3,000 people. It also includes learning institutions, market centers, and health. Served well the community for 3 years. Eventually, the borehole started to decrease in production until last year when it dried up completely. We are the community. We are applying for the grant so that we may drill another borehole. The vision of this project is to provide clean and safe water for consumption by the community. By doing this, we have helped the community in the following ways. One, to improve public health by reduction of waterborne disease, which is being currently supported in the area. The second one is to improve livelihood among the community by reducing the time taken to fetch water at the springs, which are located at steep and dangerous terrains. Thirdly, it will create conducive learning environment for the people who are always told to go for the water during learning period. So we as the community, we are going to appreciate if we can get this grant so that we may have another borehole, so that we may have clean water to help the community.
This is John Matilong Sayelel from Kenya, and I come from Narok County in Loita Plains around Ngosuani. I just want to take this opportunity to introduce myself and also to introduce my community as well. I come from a little community known as the Maasai, a small community in East Africa, mostly in Tanzania and Kenya. And they are pastoralists in nature, which means that they keep livestock such as cows, sheep, and goats. And I just want to say that I'm very privileged and honored to be one of the members of this community, which is a very well-known community for their traditional and cultural practices. Coming from this dignified community, I just want to say that I'm privileged to be one of the young generation who were able to attend school and finish their higher education. And I just want to take this time to say that it has been a very great resource for me, and I'm happy and I have a chance to be able to help my community in facing the modern challenges we are having in today's life. And one of the greatest challenges we have is the waste management. And these waste managements are usually brought up by these commercial trading centers around us. And they're really threatening the life of people, wildlife, and environment as well. And having been having this kind of a problem, I just thought that we can work as a community together through the funding which was given us by Purpose Earth, through my project which was known as Maasai Greening Ngosuani, which is a project intending to handle this waste management around my local center. And having said that, it is a project that is intending to take a while, but I'm very optimistic that we are going to work together as a community so that we can secure our best environment as we used to have, and educate this community in handling waste, handling and controlling waste management that are brought up by these commercial centers. They're mostly waste from like these trading centers, mostly plastics, bottles, plastics in nature, and there are several undecomposed materials that are being littered all around, and it is really threatening the life, especially wildlife, because they sometimes end up eating this waste and it's harmful to their life. And I'm here today to say that I'm privileged to have this project on, and we are looking forward to cooperate with Purpose Earth and other, interested bodies to make sure that we have a free environment from waste and pollution. With those few remarks, I just want to say thank you very much and may God bless you. And I'm looking forward to work together.
Wow, it's so inspiring. Like such beautiful, remarkable projects.
How amazing. Once again, creating from a need, knowing that clean water is so important to all to live, just to live a healthy, we take so many things for granted. But absolutely. He decided, let me do something about that. Let me do what I can, starting with self. What can I do? How can I connect with others to make a difference? Again, I say to you, we don't change the world, we change ourselves, and then the world changes because of it. This is just awesome and amazing. Once again, just beautiful work from all around the world.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you want to say anything, but we're at that point where we're going to present our last recipient of the day.
Absolutely. But before we do that, we just totally have to thank our co-creators, Emmanuel Councilman and Laura Rose. Can I get everyone in the building right now? We need to see your hands. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure I'm doing gallery view because I'm gonna make sure everybody is clapping right now as soon as I get to my career. Yes, 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 because this could not happen without Emmanuel and Laura Rose. Talking about giving from the heart, talking about starting with self, and then just presenting it to the world. They do it the best. They're the best at it. I mean, they really are. And we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. Again, $250,000 could not have ever, not the first dollar could not have been raised if it was not for them giving and doing the work. We thank you. All of us from around the world, we thank you. All 28 grant recipients, we thank you. The council, we thank you. The production team, we thank you. All those in the communities that have benefited from the work that you are supporting, we thank you. We thank you. Lotta, it looks like you might be on. We want to hear you. You are so beautiful. You're beautiful, like, even when we can't hear you.
So beautiful. I was just like being like here, like just like saying how much you know, this two people mean to me, and how grateful I am. So thank you from all of us, also recipients. I know that I'm speaking for everybody who also has benefited from their beautiful hard-led work. So thank you. And thank you to everybody who's part of our family who has supported us so far to get us here as well. And thank you for those of you who are also thinking of supporting us moving forward. So thank you.
Absolutely. And you know what? I have a little secret. I don't know how many people's in this room, but I'm just going to say it like I'm just talking to you, but I have a little secret. I heard a little bird say that there could be a possibility that some more opportunities to support some people later on could happen this year. I'm not sure. Don't hold it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Don't hold me to the coals. But if that happens, I believe some people right here in this room watching right now, they're doing the work. They started with themselves. They created something and they need some help. And so I'm just saying, I'm just whispering a little something. You might want to get ready. Make sure you go to purposeearth.org. Keep up with us, follow us, share what we're doing. Get yourself ready, just like these other 28 recipients did. Just like it happened for them, it can happen for you, you know, just in case something happens later on this year. You just want to be ready, right?
Mm-hmm. Get ready, get ready.
Get ready. Yeah, they say don't. Yeah, you know, as a matter of fact, don't get ready, be ready. How about that? Just be ready.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so are you all ready to see our next recipient, for whom I'm so inspired? I just want to say also, there's in the chat, there's some links for you to know more about Emmanuel and Laura and the work that they're doing. Just like there's so many ways for you to connect with us that we're going to continue to share as well.
And they can give. You know, let me just say that you can also give and be a part of this movement. This is a Purpose Earth. I'm saying it right here today. This is a movement, a global movement, you all. Don't you want to be a part of that action? What did Peter say earlier? He says, empower and take action. Who's taking action today? I just need you to do this. I don't even want you to tell me what amount. But if you have been empowered by what you've seen so far, just go in the chat and say, I'm taking action. Let me see how many people real quick that's going to say, I'm taking action. And that means that you're going to give something. I don't care if it's $5 to 5 million. Tell me right now, you're going to take action. What does that mean to you? Don't even tell me the amount. Let your heart be moved. That's between you and the ones you love and you serve and all of the above, because I know that if you're told to give $1,000, $1 just won't do. And if you're told to give $100, your $10 just might not get it. So I want you right now to just say, I'm going to take action. I'm taking action today. Who's taking action? Let's call out some names real quick. before we move on? All right. Oh, look at all these take action people. It's so many. I don't know if I can call them all out. We got Noel and Bob taking action. Brad is taking action. Kaeshi is taking action. Courtney, Jill, Rhiannon's taking action. Lily's taking action. Vanessa and Seraphina's taking action. Kathy Lambert, a good friend of mine, she's taking action. Rachel's taking action. Jill Robinson, Amanda is taking action. Oh, I love it. Yes, let's all take action. Woo! Yes, shout out to each of you.
Thank you, everybody. Oh, Dr. Marty, you're on fire. I love it. I'm like, okay, I thought I was going to be tired by this time, but I'm like so energized. I hope you all super energized as well. Thank you, everybody, for like.
But you know, we got a party coming up. Marty's got to be ready for the party, right? I got to hype myself up. So we need you all to stay with us because it is going to be a Purpose Earth Marty party going on. Like I said, don't get ready, be ready. Stay with us. Amazing. All right, back over to you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm very excited about this one also because it's a project that really touches my heart, and it's someone that I know personally, and it's an honor to introduce their project to you right now. They have a brilliant vision, and they combine art with science and community, and they create something magnificent that I actually will let them speak about. So we first have a video, but we're introducing you to Global Coralition, and we'll see a video, then we'll bring Angeline to talk about it. And yeah, so get ready. Let's do it.
I want to give them a tagline real quick.
Oh,
they're gonna take this home with them.
Are you ready?
This is your consolation gift. This is your tagline for the day.
Okay.
Using art as a tool
for
transformation.
Using art as a tool for transformation, we have the opportunity to create a reality as beautiful, healthy, and strong as our imagination, our imagination, our imagination, our imagination, our imagination. Transformation. In using art as a tool for transformation. Transformation. In using art as a tool for transformation. Transformation.
We are sacred beings on sacred land.
In using art as a tool for transformation, we have the opportunity to create a reality as beautiful, healthy, and strong as our imagination permits.
Beyond Arawak or Taino culture, it is returning to an essence of being human, of being connected from the heart to all the life, from those clouds to the birds, to the last bit of sand, to remember our mother every day.
In using art as a tool for transformation. Transformation. In using art as a tool for transformation. Transformation.
Using art as a tool for transformation. We'd love to welcome Angeline Chen to the stage. Angeline, hello, welcome. What an honor.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful and honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Tell us more about your project. We'd love to hear more.
Sure. Well, so I'm one of the co-founders of Global Coralition. I just wanted to share, today is my 31st birthday, so it's really special to be here. I wanted to share my ancestry is from China. My mother's a Chinese culture language teacher in China. My father's a biochemist whose work won a Nobel Prize and is used in coral science to increase their resilience to climate change. And I'm just grateful to be alive today, for them to have brought me into this world and to have found my purpose. I fell in love with coral reefs in Thailand, and within about 1 to 2 years witnessed about half the reef had died, about half the fish population had disappeared. And so it brought me into creating Global Coralition. And I'm here now in the Dominican Republic, and it really does look like this. It's such a beautiful place, the land, the water, the people, and yeah, Laura is my neighbor. So I'm just honored to be here to share. I have a little presentation. So should I dive right in? I will share my screen. Okay. And thank you to Purpose Earth, this community and this movement. I'm so grateful and honored to be here. So Global Coralition, we are on a mission to accelerate coral reef restoration. So coral reefs are the rainforest of the sea. Actually, from our last, from the last speaker, I was thinking it would be an amazing goal in life to outplant 35 million corals one day. So I'm very inspired by their work. Our oceans actually produce the other half of the oxygen that our planet needs to survive. So our corals, they support 25% of all marine life. They provide over 500 million people around the world with food and livelihood. And they say we're 300 to 400 times more likely to find new medicine in the ocean. There's over 6,500 different species of coral. We've lost about half of our reefs in the last 30 years, primarily to climate change, pollution, overfishing, and they estimate we will lose 90% by 2050. Recent studies have shown that based on the recovery rates of marine ecosystems, we can actually rebuild our marine ecosystems by 2050. There are incredible groups out there dedicated to regenerating these populations. Different techniques have been used underwater, coral gardening techniques, where we can trim and garden, repopulate. And there's been a lot of recent breakthroughs in bringing coral farming on land, where we can actually slice corals because they're cloning animals and they will multiply and divide, and we can grow them on in tanks on a large scale. And they actually grow up to 50 times faster because of the settings that we can provide them and being able to feed them with bioaccelerators. There's another amazing technique used where corals actually spawn eggs and sperm, and in nature, usually only 1 in a million will actually find each other, fertilize, land somewhere, and grow into a mature coral. But in a land setting, you can take these eggs and sperm, breed them together, and they get over 90% success rate of fertilization. So these techniques, people believe if we can scale these across the world to local NGOs who are dedicated full-time to reef restoration, we have a chance to increase the biomass and increase the biodiversity of key regions that would become biodiversity hotspots around the world, and over time reseed neighboring reefs. And there is a chance that our coral reefs could survive the impacts of climate change through this way. So for me as an artist, we were wondering, how can we catalyze the adoption of these techniques to these local communities and the local NGOs? And that's where we designed this method of bridging the art and the science that can catalyze the community connection and build a movement where people are inspired, where the knowledge can be transferred. We can create new jobs and conservation on these island communities. Our first sculpture, Mazu, within about 4 months, she was covered in crustose coralline algae, a building block for coral, and the local community built 36 pyramids around her, planting 5,000 corals. And this kind of was the beginning of our journey of seeing how art could be such a beautiful catalyst for the community. This is the Dominican Republic. On the left, we have the reefs in the 80s. Here on the right is now, and the DR has actually, they have less than 10% coral coverage currently, and the waters are severely overfished. So it's been a very fascinating place for us to work. And we started our project in 2020, January. We went to the schools and shared with the kids our vision, our mission, and we asked them if we could create something, a sculpture, what would it be? What would be impactful for you? And they told us Atabe. And Atabe, who I also have a little sculpture here of, so she is the mother of the water, the mother of earth, and she rules over river, rain, fertility, and she goes to the ocean once to give birth to her son, the god of the sea, from the Arawak Taino indigenous culture. And we got to meet Irka Mateo. She gave us the blessings to do this project and began guiding us through the process of bringing Atabe into 3D form. And through our relationship with her, we got to learn so much about the history of this island. They actually have over 4,000 years of indigenous history of the Arawaks who migrated from Venezuela. They lived in harmony, they traded their fish and their yucca across 5 kingdoms on the island that was at the time Haiti and the Dominican Republic. And about 500 years ago, when the Spanish arrived, it began the colonization. About 83% of the population was wiped out. And the ones that had survived had hidden in caves, and some had been sold through the slave trade to the US. And just in the last 30 years, there's been an incredible discovery of the amount of people with Arawak lineage, Taino lineage, and a recovery of this culture, their music, their medicine, their stories. And it was so beautiful. It's been so beautiful to be part of that journey. This is the Mariposa School for Girls, and they created a beautiful performance piece honoring Atabe. And yeah, just to witness this happening on the island here and many islands around the Caribbean and in the US. This is Atabe. We built her on a public beach so that we could raise awareness and talk about the culture and the history and the need for marine ecology on the island. And we were actually faced with an uprising from the evangelic church, and that actually rippled even more across the island, people debating all across social media about the history, and the municipality held a conference with the evangelic priests, and it was just beautiful to see these dialogues happening. It was been beautiful to see how people have come to see Atabe and connect with the culture, and all the people that have come together to help make this project possible. We had an amazing local team, a lot of education opportunities, and people building. We had over 100 people have their hands contribute to the building of Atabe. And for us, the art is just such a powerful way to bring communities together and have these conversations and bring people into the climate conversation and be able to participate. And most importantly for us to be able to work and learn with the indigenous leaders and support their voices and their messages being heard. And we practiced microfragmentation in the area to test if it was a viable method for the region. It was. We had our corals growing in nurseries in the water, growing healthy, very little mortality rate. And now we are embarking to build our first land-based farm. We're starting with 8 tanks. Every tank holds 4,000 corals. We can outplant every 3 to 6 months. And our vision is to build a coral farm, community center, and cultural center, creating opportunities for education, new jobs, and opportunities for fishermen, the dive community, the youth in the area, and create a self-sustaining model for the region to hopefully restore the reefs in the area. This is our second sculpture on the island. It's inspired by Ana Kaona, who is, she was an Arawak Taino chief on the island around when the Spanish arrived. And our long-term vision of the project is to reach the 50 reef sites. So there's 50 coral reefs identified by the Ocean Agency as having the highest chance of recovery. And if restored, they could reseed neighboring regions. It's a way for conservationists to focus on key areas to become biodiversity hotspots and for corals to survive climate change in the next 3 decades. And our vision is to bridge indigenous wisdom with advanced science and create local marine regeneration hubs that are locally led. And yeah, we're so grateful to be here. Thank you so much for listening and for supporting, and to the Purpose Earth community and donors that have chosen our project to be a recipient. So thank you so much, and feel free to reach out. My email and website is there. Thank you. Thank you and blessings. Oh, and I would just love to introduce Irka Mateo, who she's been an elder and a guide for our project, and she will be sharing some music. She's an amazing musician. Thank you so much.
My name is Jarina de Marco, and I am a musician. My mother's teachings have influenced my identity. You can't know where you're going if you don't know where you came from, and having your roots deep and steady allows you to bear fruit and grow.
The Taino people are the indigenous people of the Caribbean who went through so much hardship. These people need to be acknowledged because they are our ancestors and also for our identity. This is like part of the mix of really knowing who you are.
We're going to build an altar. In the center will be the god of Yucca.
His name is Yucahu Bagua Maorokoti. He can make the crops healthy and abundant. Then we're going to thank him for the work that he's going to do.
My mother moved here and we started implementing the Taino ceremonies. And sure enough, we blessed it and my garden went wild. It became a tradition in my house to always, before we plant everything, we make the ceremony. My mother would bring me into forests and jungles, and she would teach me the names of all of the trees and the fruits. And I still to this day walk around the neighborhood and I can name you pretty much every tree, and that comes from her. It all kind of blended together, creating what I am now, which is so many cultures in one. It's so primal, the voice and the drums, and that is something that occurs in my music all the time. That is a direct link from me seeing my mother. Having roots are so important to me because it cements me in my identity. I've never faltered as to who I am as a person. I know who I am and where I come from, and that gives me so much strength and compassion. It really centers me and makes me feel like I'm standing really strong on the earth.
Thank you, Angeline. What a beautiful, beautiful project you have. It's been such an honor to know about this and have you so close by. And just for me, it was a surprise that you were here until this week, and seeing the Taino people. I'm parts Taino as well, and I didn't even know that we were alive until very recently too. So beautiful. Thank you for doing this beautiful work.
Wow, such beautiful stories and creations and vibrant videos. I love the colors. I felt it. I felt everything that Angeline was speaking about. You are so awesome and amazing, just like the other recipients of 2022. Again, kudos to all, deep bows to everyone and the work that you're doing around the world. 28 recipients. have been awarded through Purpose Earth. Again, we're so grateful for the work that Purpose Earth is doing. Please visit purposeearth.org. We can't say it enough. And we thank you today for taking action. Just a reminder, 100% of what you gifted today will go to the recipients that we actually pull forward to get behind and support. So thank you for being a part of the movement.